On the second day of their state visit to Kenya, King Charles and Queen Camilla embarked on a journey filled with remarkable experiences. The royal couple visited an elephant orphanage where they had the privilege of meeting these gentle giants and learning about conservation efforts. But the excitement didn't stop there. The royal couple also had the opportunity to meet an adorable baby rhino, a symbol of hope for the future of wildlife in Kenya. Next, the royal duo visited an ivory burning site, underscoring their commitment to combat the illegal ivory trade and protect these magnificent creatures. Earlier, Queen Camilla visited an animal sanctuary where she interacted with dedicated caregivers and learned about the well-being of donkeys, including vaccinations and hoof care.
As you can see, our donkey is harnessed and carrying the jerrycans of water. Very important.
The children from a local donkey club presented Queen Camilla with a beautiful painting illustrating their dedication to taking care of these wonderful animals.
This is now what we call the Boys Club.
Is a painting from our learners of DCC Club, led by Adam Asher. We request kindly that you receive.
Local women also honored Queen Camilla with a traditional gown, celebrating the vibrant culture and heritage of Kenya. King Charles commended Kenyan entrepreneurs for their commitment to addressing climate issues during a reception in Nairobi.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I have to disappear, regrettably, because they put too many things in my program, if I may say so, it's been such a joy to have this opportunity to meet really quite a lot of Kenyans during this visit and to discover just how things have developed and changed since I was here quite a long time ago, I hate to say. But it has been fascinating to meet all these people, the entrepreneurs, the young entrepreneurs who are doing such remarkable things here, coming up with brilliant ideas, particularly in terms of how to cope with climate change and biodiversity loss, thinking up clever solutions, nature-based and so on. Also how to develop their digital operations.
In a heartfelt gesture, King Charles and Queen Camilla awarded medals to veterans of World War II, recognizing their bravery and sacrifice. The royal couple also visited the United Nations office, encouraging staff and stakeholders to continue their vital work in addressing the severe impact of climate change.
Cyclones and floods continue to devastate both farms and cities. It is particularly heartbreaking to know that in the Horn of Africa alone, tens of millions of people face severe hunger and drought. Now, as I'm sure the many experts in this room know only too well, left unchecked, global warming, biodiversity loss, and climate change are challenges, serious challenges, which threaten us all, and can only be met by the whole of society working together in the spirit of action, partnership, and commitment. But I particularly wanted to visit your headquarters to thank and encourage you all. Put simply, as a result of your efforts, millions of the most vulnerable people in the world have a greater measure of security, safety, and support.
King Charles explored local art exhibits, tasted street food, and celebrated the rich culture and creativity of Kenya. Reflecting on the past, King Charles expressed his deepest regret for the atrocities suffering during Kenya's struggle for independence. A day before, in a speech at the start of a 4-day state visit to Kenya, he stopped short of making a full apology called for by survivors of that period and local rights groups who are pressing for reparations from the British government.
The wrongdoings of the past are a cause of the greatest sorrow and the deepest regret. There were abhorrent and unjustifiable acts of violence committed against Kenyans as they waged, as you said at the United Nations, a painful struggle for independence and sovereignty. And for that, there can be no excuse. In coming back to Kenya, it matters greatly to me that I should deepen my own understanding of these wrongs and that I meet some of those whose lives and communities were so grievously affected. None of this can change the past, but by addressing our history with honesty and openness, we can perhaps demonstrate the strength of our friendship today. And in so doing, we can, I hope, continue to build an ever closer bond for the years ahead.
Kenyan President praised Charles for his courage and readiness to shed light on uncomfortable truths that residents in the darker regions of our shared experience.
This is a highly encouraging first step under your leadership to deliver progress beyond tentative and equivocal half measures of past years. We are therefore confident that under your visionary leadership, the Kenya-United Kingdom relations will continue to prosper for the benefit of our two countries and peoples. And if colonialism was brutal and atrocious to African people, colonial reaction to African struggles for sovereignty and self-rule was monstrous in its cruelty. It culminated in the emergency, which intensified the worst excesses of colonial impunity and the indiscriminate victimization of Africans.
In 1952 to 1960, when the Mau Mau revolt against British colonial rule was met with repressive measures that resulted in the deaths of thousands of Kenyans. Kenyan police on Monday blocked a news conference intended to air allegations of human rights and environmental abuses by British troops in the country hours before King Charles arrives for a 4-day state visit. Buckingham Palace has said Charles' visit will acknowledge painful aspects of the UK and Kenya's shared history. The British ruled for more than 6 decades before the East African nation won its independence in 1963. The allegations in question relate to a period long after the end of colonial rule. Residents of central Kenya have accused a British Army training unit based nearby of causing a 2021 wildfire that destroyed much of a nature reserve, leaving behind ordnance that injured locals, and being involved in the 2012 murder of a woman last seen with British soldiers. UK authorities have promised in the past to investigate the allegations against members of the military training unit, which has about 100 permanent staff. Before the news conference could be held at a hotel in the capital Nairobi, a lorry with at least 20 police officers and 2 smaller trucks blocked access to the venue.
Chairman of the FOCA, which is the Old Comrades Association. He's airborne.
The police also gave the hotel's management a letter that warned them not host the event, said James, head of a human rights group supporting the alleged victims. A spokeswoman for Kenya's National Police Service declined comment when contacted. The British High Commission in Nairobi said the policing of protests in Kenya was a matter for Kenyan authorities. Tom, a Nairobi lawyer who represents the community, said the police action were bad optics if the king is genuine about this restart and resetting the relation with Kenya. A Kenyan parliamentary committee is currently investigating the allegations against the British forces. A British soldier seemed to claim credit in 2021 on social media for starting the wildfire, which destroyed thousands of acres of a nature conservancy. The British High Commissioner at the time said she was appalled by the post and promised the Royal Military Police would investigate. The British High Commission said on Monday the fire was started accidentally and no local or community land was directly affected. Local residents are also angry about delays in an investigation into the 2012 death of a single mother, Agnes Wanjiru, who was last seen at a local hotel with British soldiers. The 21-year-old, whose body was found in a hotel septic tank, has been beaten and stabbed, an inquest report by a Kenyan magistrate reported in 2019. This case is a priority for the UK government, and we fully appreciate the seriousness and importance of justice for Agnes, the British High Commission said in a statement. The jurisdiction for this investigation lies with the Kenyan Police Service, and the UK government is working closely with the government of Kenya to accelerate progress. While still heir to the throne, Charles surprised many at last year's summit of the Commonwealth, a voluntary association of countries that evolved from the British Empire by acknowledging slavery's role in the organization's roots. accompanied by the Queen Camilla on his first visit as monarch to a farmer colony. Charles was earlier in the day welcomed to the presidential palace in the capital Nairobi, where King Charles and Queen Camilla were honored with a 20-gun salute. This journey continues with plans to explore conservation efforts in a wildlife park and visit the bustling port city of Mombasa. Stay tuned for more updates on this historic royal visit to Kenya.